almost there. Closure on this strange, bizarre, and seemingly endless year. It's just, well, a matter of hours away. And helping us to close it out, well, a guy who can talk, to say the least, Dimitri Vassilaros, better known as just plain simply Dimitri, joining a very short list of people so famous and or infamous that they can be known by simply one name. Madonna, Cher, the artist formerly known as Prince, and Dimitri. He will join us in just moments, so steel thyselves. All right, we're underway. It's Cullen on cable. New year. We're about to usher this one out. Which one was it? All right, 98, heading into 99, which I hate to be the first one to tell you, or the 200th millionth, as my kid would say to tell you. Wait a minute. The year that will begin tomorrow is not the last year of this millennium. Is that correct? It's not? It's the penultimate. There's a word. Stick it in your vocabulary. The penultimate year, which is a word that a lot of people do misuse, and it's a word you can impress people with if you pull it out every once in a while. Penultimate year. Meaning, what do you mean 2000 is the penultimate? Well, excuse me while I have a conversation with my ear. What?
2001 is the first year of the millennium.
2001, was that the voice of God? 2001 was so 2000 is the penultimate, the second to the last.
Yes.
So what's 1999? It's chopped liver.
2 years out.
Well then, heck with it all, who cares? Oh my gosh, my tape's running. Wait a minute, whoa, hang on. This is just classic. This is the way the last show of the year should go. Roll it back to 0, I think not. Wait a minute. Oh, who cares? Let's just wing it. It's easy, it's loose, it's live, it's spontaneous. You don't get many television shows that are easy, live, and spontaneous anymore, and you're seeing the reason why. So, anyway, the way we usually start this show is a little bit slicker. I got to show you this guy. It really doesn't matter where we head into this. Ugh. We call this back talk, and I usually pull these things off the Today Show. Looks like I was milking a cow there for a second. Here, watch this. I don't know where this is going to... Wait. All right, wait. Hello? There he is. Here's a guy here, and I had this queued up, but it ran a little bit. This guy is the editor of In Style magazine, and so we have to assume he's in style. And his name is Hal Rubinstein or something. Harold Rubinstein. And he looks like a Russian gangster, doesn't he? This must be like, this is cool. This guy is the editor of the magazine that tells us what's stylish, and he's in fact telling Matt Lauer, like, what's in and what's out. We did some of this yesterday when we found out that the trend for 1999 was, in a word, kindness, which I found rather bizarre, that kindness could be a trend. But okay, let's listen to Hal. I don't know what he's going to... What are you talking about, Hal?
There's a dictionary to look up words from which a Tom Wolfe book. There's tons of them that you don't know.
And when you're done with it, you strike it from memory and download something else.
And you get another book.
Price of that?
That's about $490.
Okay, that was just some gizmo. It was $490 bucks. You can download books from the internet right into this little thing. So if you're going away on vacation, you don't want to schlep, you know, books. You just schlep that after you've downloaded thousands of pages of reading material into it. And if you have $500 to burn, of course.
Day spas are going to be popular, and when it comes to food...
This is where I wanted to pick up. When it comes to food, now listen to this, because they're talking about you. And apparently when the calendar changes, we all undergo some kind of bizarre urge to alter our hairstyles, by the way, long and straight is in, and alter what we're eating. And this Russian gangster is about to tell us what urge you're going to have, I guess in 24 hours or so, what you're going to want to eat, okay? Matt Lauer has asked him that. This is the trend in eating by Americans for 1999.
We're going south of the border.
We're going South America, except not the way we did last time with little chimichangas and tostadas. We want meat on bones.
Do you hear that? You want meat on bones. Must be the carnivorous year, the year of the dog or something. Okay, Hal's telling us we want meat on bones and preferably meat from South America.
Brazilian food, the Peruvian food, everybody down there has great beef, and basically people want sort of chili rub, fleck.
Oh! Basically people want chili rubbed, flecked. Where's he going with this? We haven't heard it yet. Where's he going? You want chili rubbed and flecked what?
Beef.
Beef.
Red meat.
There it is. All right, stop. Stop. What's with this machine? I'm hitting it too hard? There. So we leave our Russian gangster, who has now told us that we want chili rubbed, flecked beef on the bone, okay? You're going to want that tomorrow, so you might want to run out to the store right now and get yourself some beef, and don't forget the chili, and you fleck it, and you make it, and you rip it off the bone, because it's going to be that kind of a year, okay? And what we heard yesterday is when you're doing that, you're going to feel kind, because that's the trend to kindness. I hate the ends of years because of all this nonsense that happens. The lists and these forecasts make me crazy. Can you tell? Yeah. Well, okay. Here, I'll tell you what. Enough of me. When we return, you either love him or you hate him. It's true, and I think he would agree. I don't know. I mean, actually, it's been said of me, too. Dimitri. Join us. What do you mean you saw my first segment?
Of course I saw.
Dimitri is here, a former colleague of mine, but then who isn't? I feel like I've been around a lot since.
You have been around.
Yeah, and so,
a lot of people have been saying the same thing.
We're looking a little the worse for wear. I was just telling Dimitri, what do you mean I saw your first segment? He said this with a sneer.
I saw your first segment. I mean, with the buttons mean? And what it means is you haven't changed since WTAE.
Lawrence, what I'm doing.
Lawrence,
what?
help me.
What's going on? All right.
I was reliving TAE.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a dangerous person to be around. Well, so,
yes.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Excuse us.
We'll be right back with you.
This is the from the sports page of the Post-Gazette today.
Yeah.
Here we go again. WTAE
Unbelievable.
is being sold. It's been sold again.
Was it about 18 times now or something
somewhere
like that?
in here it says, this, we used to work together on WTAE radio, and it says that it's been sold something like 6 times in the last 18 months. Is that possible?
I thought it'd be a lot more than that. I'm serious. I thought it'd be a lot more than that. But God bless them, whatever they want to do with it. But that's radio. That's radio. And you just adjust and you keep moving. The beauty of radio is you adjust because you have to adjust. And TAE is a 5,000-watt signal. At night, it's directional, so it's a lousy signal. AM radio, for the most part, is dying if they're small stations. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I'll bet you they go religious or something like that.
As a
What?
It says probably will go religious or children's programming. Children's programming? I've never really.
My money's on religion. My money's on religion. There has to be a
great. Just what we need, another religious radio station. Now, really, seriously, if you fiddle, you just sort of like go up the AM dial, especially. How many religious stations do you think there are?
What else are you going to do with them? The signals are so lousy. What are you going to do with them?
Talk. You're going to do talk like we do.
But talk's expensive. We both know that. That's a very expensive format, and owners are tight with the bucks, and I don't know. It's a tough thing to do. But what about you? What's going on with you? You look great. You look wonderful.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. And so
are you wearing that heart locket because of me? And what's inside there? Is that a picture of me from my days when I was handing out my publicity photos? What's in the heart locket? Would you like to know what's in the heart locket? Call right now, and let's see if we can get her to show us what's in the heart locket.
I knew this was going to be a long hour. I knew it. Now, wait a minute. It's my show. I ask you the questions.
Fine.
Okay.
All right.
I said as you were coming in, people either, they love you or they hate you. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what would you say the percentages are?
Well, probably 50-50, but the point is it doesn't matter to me whether they love me or hate me.
It doesn't bother you that
Not
like
at all.
some people...
I'm honored. I'm honored. What would bother me is if they did not care. Because one of my favorite expressions, I know we've talked about this off the air, but I'll share this with you on the air, is the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. If they just don't care about you, to me, that's the worst. If somebody really hates me and is like seething at the very thought of me, that means I've touched that person. That means that I'm important in that person's life, whether that person wants to acknowledge it or not. If I were not important, they wouldn't care.
But you're important in a negative way, and that doesn't make you unhappy?
Not at all, because I'm touching that person. I'm saying things that are causing that person to think. They may not agree with me, and many times they don't, but the point is I'm saying things that make them think and make them feel and make them react. If I were saying things that, or writing things like my column in the newspaper and nobody cared, it would be like, man, I'm not touching anyone. There's no, there's no payoff there. But look who's asking the question, though. Half the people of Pittsburgh love you, the other half hate you, but they all listen and now watch you on PCNC.
No, I know, but I wanted you to explain this thing. But it does
It's the nature of the
sometimes,
business.
I don't like it when people dislike me who don't know me. Well, but it doesn't matter, I guess, if they don't know you. You can't take it personally.
That's it. That's the key.
Yeah.
You cannot take it personally because they don't know you. It's not a personal thing. It's the image. And when they see me in person and they realize that I don't have horns growing out of my head and flames coming out of my nostrils, they're pleasantly surprised. So I have nowhere to go but up when I meet them in person. So it's a wonderful situation to be in. I love it.
So do you think he looks older?
Well, we all look older because...
Now, wait a minute, because we were talking about this.
Oh, brother. Go on. Go on.
He's got glasses. I never saw you with glasses before.
I've got
And you said that this is not only they want you to look a little, this is for your TV, does TV commentaries.
Right.
Less
harsh. I look less harsh. I look a bit more approachable. When I don't... I need every advantage I can get, believe me.
You remember when all of a sudden Dan Rather, do you remember this? He started wearing like little sweaters.
Yeah.
And that was because some television consultant said, I think we better put Dan in a little, little red sweater. It'll make him seem sort of cuddly because, people are reacting in a negative way. So this is some TV person said, Dimitri, the glasses. The glasses work because they make you look just a little less scary.
Not the consultants. More importantly, women viewers. Every woman who works at Messy the station, is that okay?
Oh, of course. And as a matter of fact, I have to tell people where they can hear you, see you, read you, and all of that.
Absolutely. It's WTOV, and it's News 9, based in Steubenville. You can get it in most cable systems in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And the women who work there, also some women who happen to watch me doing my commentaries twice a week, said that with the glasses, I looked nicer. And if a woman says you look nicer with glasses, you wear glasses. I mean, that's all there's to it. Do I look more cuddly to you? That's the most important question, though. Do I look more cuddly?
You do look less...
harsh.
Harsh.
See, it works. Another woman who agrees, so there you are.
But I think it's because it's an older look. It is, and maybe older seems a little less...
Possibly.
Scary.
Possibly, yeah. I'm still waiting to find out what's in your locket there.
There's nothing in there.
There's nothing? It
doesn't
open up?
No, there's nothing. It opens up, but I never put anything in there.
Would you like my publicity photo?
I don't think so.
I could clip it and make it really small, just like one eye or something.
God almighty. Hey, by the way, if you want to talk to this guy, feel free, 333-PCNC. So where are you? You're a workaholic. No, you're in the morning now.
I'm on WWVA. That's News Radio 1170, WWVA. It's a 50,000-watt clear channel blowtorch. 5:30 to 10, Monday through Friday. I'm on WTOV News 9, the TV station, doing commentaries Monday and Wednesday.
And you said, wait a minute, that's in Steubenville?
Steubenville, right. That's part of the Ohio Valley, part of the tri-state area. And I also do a column twice a week for the Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
Did you hear this? I mean, the fact of the matter is he has just mentioned locations in 3 different states.
I'm a one-man multimedia campaign.
Ridiculous.
That's what it is. But I love it. It's great. I'm getting paid to do what I love to do. I mean, what a great gig this is. I can write. I can perform on TV. I can do my radio show on WWVA. It is great stuff. I mean, I'm living the best life that a person could live. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm actually getting paid for it. This is great stuff. And what do I do on my vacation? I'm on vacation this week and next.
What do you do?
I come to see you. I'm here. I'm on my vacation. This is my vacation time, and I'm on TV to see you.
You know, the phrase "get a life," I believe, was...
Yeah, if you're a single woman who's over 30 or so, who's very bright, who's very pretty, and who can suck the chrome off a trailer hitch, would you please call? What's the phone number here again? 33... Hello? Hello?
333 PCNC.
Call now.
Oh, my God, it's going to be a long hour. Dimitri, with me, and you. We'll be back.
The official transportation provider of Cullen on Cable is Pittsburgh Limousine, the one clear choice in transportation. If they're...
Hello, excuse us, we're just doing sort of like, you know, what is that, shop talk, I guess. Hi, welcome back, and Happy New Year. It's finally over. What a year this has been. Dimitri Vassilaros, my guest. Do you use that full name on any of these gigs? You're just Dimitri?
Mostly just Dimitri. I mean, everybody knows me as Dimitri. I say at the beginning Dimitri Vassilaros, but it's not an ego thing as much as it is a practical thing. With a name like Vassilaros, people mangle it all the time. And there's only one Dimitri anyway, so I figured why not?
Well, I guess I just mangled it because you said
Vassilaros. Yeah, Sophia and Anthony's boy. Oh, yeah.
Sophia and Anthony's boy,
Absolutely.
I know. Obviously Greek,
yeah.
right?
But with a name like Dimitri, there's no one else who has, well, very few people who have that name.
That's
Certainly
true.
nobody in the media, so I figured, why not? And I've not advanced to the point, you had mentioned about, you know, Madonna, people with just like one name. I haven't advanced to the point where I actually have a symbol, like, you know, Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince.
Who knows?
I'm working my way there. I'm signing my name with a delta now, Dimitri, like with a delta. So maybe I'll get to that point someday.
So, I am often asked this question because both of us do in fact create strong feelings in people, as you said. I'm often asked if I do say what I say simply to provoke, or if in fact I really believe what I say. Now, my answer to that is,
yes.
I believe what I say, and I'm not trying to provoke.
Me too.
You, on the other hand, no, I think you do try to...
Wagging a finger at me. It's like Clinton here. I did not have sex with that woman.
Come on, you do try to provoke.
No, as a matter of fact, what I believe, I say what I believe. I really do. What I write, that's what I believe. And in fact, I hold
when
back.
you write, I think that's true. But I think when you're on air, I think you get a little...
Name one time. Name one time.
Well,
in all the years we've worked together, name one time where you thought to yourself, you know, he doesn't really believe that, he's just saying that. I rest her case, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is who I am. I mean, I have very strong opinions. I'm a libertarian, as you know, and I have very strong opinions on different issues. I don't pull any punches. Politically, I'm hopelessly incorrect. And I tell people exactly what I think, and if they don't like it, they're going to have to deal with it, or, quite frankly, turn on another radio station.
Okay, how are you politically incorrect, for instance?
Well, I want to oppose, I'm completely opposed to government playing favorites with certain groups. I believe that affirmative action is wrong. I believe that we have a level playing field. The Constitution now guarantees that, and I don't believe any group, whether based on race, gender, age, and by the way, I'm over 40, so I'm part of that, you know, age discrimination thing if I wanted to be. I don't believe any group should have any special privileges that government bestows upon them.
Yeah, but traditionally white males have had privileges and still do. It's just in the system.
But not government mandated. For example, back in the 50s...
No, it's even worse than government mandated because it's in people's heads. It's in the way we react and think.
But there's a big difference. There's a very, very big difference. Back in the 50s, government supported, endorsed, sponsored segregation. That was wrong. That was and up to the 50s, certainly. All of that was wrong. Once that ended, we finally had a level playing field in terms of government not getting involved, saying you can't hire a person because he's black and you should hire a person because he's white. If we had left it at that, that would have been fine. Now, you're crunching up your eyes and your nose again. I hate it when you do that. But now we have, everyone wants to be part of a certain group that wants to have favorites. Look, if I'm over 40, then if I get fired, I can sue for age discrimination. Or if I were a woman, or if I were a minority, or if I'm gay, or if I'm handicapped, or it never ends. I don't want to live in a world like that. I absolutely don't want to live in a world like that. If I get fired because I'm not doing my job on WWVA, then I get fired. It's not because I'm over 40. It means because I'm not doing my job. If the newspaper, if the Tribune Review says, we don't want you writing the column anymore, it's not because you're, I'm not going to say, oh, well, because I'm too old. No, because they don't want it. I can deal with that. That's the way life is. I don't believe government should be playing favorites.
Yeah, but you just said something different. Right. If you get fired, it's because I'm not doing my job.
Exactly.
That is not true. People are fired all the time. They are doing their jobs. All those folks at Nabisco that just lost their jobs.
But that has nothing to
They
do
were doing their jobs.
Okay, so
they were doing them well.
You tell me what
people are getting thrown out now. I'm not saying government has a role in that. I'm saying this capitalist system that you're an apologist for is brutal.
Wait.
Brutal.
Is this
You're always
Cullen talking? Wait a minute. You worked in Green Bay. What station did you work at in Green Bay?
I never really worked
in Madison. In Madison.
Yeah.
What station did you work there?
What difference does it?
Okay, you worked at a station in Pittsburgh, WTAE, radio, TV. You work here. You work for capitalists. You cash capitalist paychecks.
How can I not? I mean, I live in a capitalist system, but I'm saying the
capitalism. You can go work for a nonprofit organization.
The capitalism that we have created. The capitalism that we have created is absolutely without humanity, and it doesn't have to
just
be
the opposite.
That way.
Absolutely, just the opposite. When you look at how people are treated in a society, you compare countries that have a free market, whether it's the United States or Japan or whatever, versus countries that have dictatorships, that have communist governments, or what's left of communist governments. And I guarantee you that you would prefer to live in a country such as America or any other country that had a free market than in a country that had dictatorships such as communism.
But see, this is what people, if you criticize the system we have, people always assume that means you're somehow disloyal and want to leave.
Oh, not at all.
I am critical of the system because I think it could be made better.
Show me how. Nabisco. Use the example of Nabisco. Here's your chance to show us how to make a better system. Since you brought up Nabisco, and since you're upset with capitalists, you show me how it can be. In fact, don't show me. Show the viewers how it would be made better if Lynn Cullen could. Here's your chance, Lynn. I'm listening. Teach me.
I don't think the glasses do it quite enough.
You're changing the subject. She's changing the subject, but she won't answer the question. Here's your chance.
Oh, gosh. You know what? I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to get into this.
All right, let's talk about something else. Personal life.
No.
We should have gotten married.
Can I get to a break?
All right, fine.
I knew it. I'm going to need...
There are no calls.
Can I have a drink? No, there's no calls. Who wants to talk to a ranting banshee like you? See? We'll be back. Sam, if you're watching this, turn off the television. I mean it.
Works both ways.
Well, why can't we say? You said you're looking for a special woman.
Well, we can get each other dates if you want.
I don't want a date. You're the one who wants the date.
Okay.
It's typical that, men have a need to pair up more than I think women do.
Oh, I disagree.
No,
I can't believe how... It's amazing, because I genuinely like you, and I truly do like you. And yet, you are so far off the mark on damn near everything. I cannot fathom how you function in this world. I swear I can't. It's got to be your personality. Obviously, it's not your political views. So...
Dimitri, my guest, you can hear him on WWVA in the morning.
That News Radio 1170, WWVA.
Oh,
well, we paid a lot of money to make a positioning statement.
You can read his column in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, and you know I'm a big fan of your writing ability.
Can I tell the listeners something actually good about you? Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. When I first started writing for the Tribune Review, I'm a freelance columnist, and when I first started writing, I had no idea if anybody would read my stuff, and if they did read it, if they would think it were any good. And I started writing it, and one of the biggest supporters, actually I had two at WTAE, Ann Devlin, terrific person, and you. And actually Doug as well, but you were the most important, because Lynn Cullen, folks, went out of her way to say that you're a good writer, that I read your stuff, and for Lynn, because politically, I mean, we're at polar ends on different issues. For you to say that, and to keep for continuing to encourage me with my writing, that meant so much to me, because it was like, yes, I must be doing something right, because Lynn Cullen. Lynn Cullen said so. Oh, I'm serious, because I know you appreciate good writing.
I really do. And I think you're a very good writer.
And if you can look past the politics of it, because we are very different, because a lot of people can't look past the politics, but you could, and I will always be very grateful to you for that.
Well, I mean, I don't often. I sometimes agree with your columns.
Yeah.
It's not as if we don't ever...
You have room to grow. Keep reading them.
Here, talk to Al. Al, hi, you're talking to Dimitri.
Hi, Al.
Good morning, Mr. Delta Symbol. Yeah, I never get a chance to read your column because I don't read the Trib.
Why not?
Scaife, period.
Scaife, period.
Yeah.
Scaife, exclamation point, I would say. Why? Why don't you like Mr. Scaife? I don't understand. Have you ever met him?
Well, he's but
have you ever met him?
He's one-sided in his politics. I don't want to support anything he's doing.
Do you have any idea how liberal this guy is on some issues? Do you realize that when Ridge first ran for governor, that Mr. Scaife endorsed Mark Singal? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Did you know that he carries a lot of libertarian columnists in the newspaper as well, and that the newspaper is very critical sometimes of conservatives who talk a good game but don't follow through? Did you know that in the Sunday Tribune Review, the third page editorial, the third part of the editorial section has a liberal columnist? You should try it.
Yeah, well, taken as a whole, I don't care for his take on things. But you talk about not discrimination. What if you're black and you're doing your job, and you get a new manager in there who just happens to not like black, and you're fired? What if you're a woman and...
You get another job. You get another job,
hang on. Yeah, but you've got 20 years invested in this company.
You have 50 years. It doesn't matter. You get another job. You get on with your life, because that's the way life works. And I tell you who could end up being the biggest loser of all, and that would be the person who did the firing. Because if this person is firing qualified people who may be minorities or women or handicapped or whatever, then the competition will say, hey, these are qualified people, we're going to hire them. Or if there's no competition, these very qualified people will start their own business and run them out of business. That's the way the real world works.
No, it isn't. It's the way the marketplace, this so-called free marketplace you believe in.
But that is the real world. That is the real world.
It is not the real world. It is, on paper, it looks good.
I agree. The real world.
It is not...
Tell me the real world.
You need to listen to Lynn.
No.
Lynn's got the point here. Okay, what if the accountants say, we've got too many people over 50 in our workforce, we're going to have a load on retirement coming up.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Exactly, it happens all the time.
So tell me, why should somebody who's 50 years old be guaranteed a job by the government? Because if that person gets fired, and somebody just gets fired, that position may become available for somebody 21 years old starting out. Why should government play favorites? Why is a 50-year-old's job more important than a 21-year-old's job?
You don't believe in any kind of assumed loyalty that would go both ways between somebody who labors for somebody and the person who then pays them.
You cannot force...
He's a capitalist.
You cannot enforce loyalty by government any more than government can enforce charity. Either you have it as an employer, an employee, or you do not. But the whole point that Al was raising, and thank you for your call, Al, the whole point that Al was raising was this.
Yeah.
I think he's dismissing you.
Yeah, I got you.
Have a nice day, Al.
And thank you for your call, Al. Thank you, Al.
But think about his premise. The government should be playing favorites with a 50-year-old versus a 21-year-old.
You're making these assumptions about his premise.
He said a 50-year-old getting fired.
He simply posed a question. Let's move.
Should a 50-year-old get fired?
Do you like being combative all the time? See, I don't. This is where we... See, I
was the one who brought it up.
Just talking to people. You like arguing.
I do not like...
Yes, you
I do not like to argue.
You're very in your face right away.
You're the one making the clenched fists. Don't hit me.
And I have a sharp object in one of them, too.
I have that effect on women, too. I can't imagine
what it is. And he wants a good woman.
Yeah. No, I don't want a good woman.
You want a special, you said.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, and it matters how she's shaped?
That helps. Oh, absolutely.
What, you have some grand bod here that, you know...
No, but looks are important. Don't you like the looks of some men over others?
Yeah,
well, so
but that's not my. That's not in the top 5 of my. What
it's not the top 5, but it's certainly. God forbid that I want a woman who looks nice. Can you imagine? How insensitive is that?
Looking nice and being beautiful with large breasts is different.
I would not complain if she had large breasts. I would not complain.
John, hi, John. Are you still there, or did you run? He ran. Who'd want to talk to you anyway?
I can hear something. Has he potted up?
No, he's
okay. I heard something.
JR, are you there? JR? Hello? Is something wrong here? JR? They're hanging up on you.
That must be me, yes.
They're hanging up on you.
It's the Lynn Cullen show, but they're hanging up on me. Okay.
And who's on 4? Jim? Go ahead, Jim.
Hello.
Hi.
There, a live being.
Hello.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
This is Dimitri.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Dimitri. I just have a little comment to say about Dimitri. I think he's 100% right in getting back to basics. We have to. My dad worked 29 years, never missed one day of work, and
And then they threw him out?
No, they did. They closed the mill down,
Yeah.
but that's still immaterial. He worked and got paid for what he did.
And the
I
pension?
think that's the way it should be. If you're qualified to work and you're qualified to do a job, do it well.
Listening.
Not go in and say, oh, I don't feel like working today. Don't go in and work 4 hours a day instead of 8.
Well, who said that? Who's going to argue that that's, you know, I'm not
I did
arguing
it.
that
I
somebody
worked
should
for
be
a
able to
big major
shirk.
company, a U.S. Steel company. I went into a mill where I never worked before in my life, did some hand grinding. After 4 hours, they told me I had to quit.
And your point is?
Well, they said that you already did more than we turn in all day. So now you got to walk around for 4 hours.
Sounds like the post office.
No, it was U.S. Steel. It was a big.
I'm just joking.
Well,
Please don't shoot me.
that's outrageous.
Thank
I
you.
Well,
can't
it
thank
is
you.
outrageous, and I think everybody should that's what happened to the steel company. But immaterial, I just think that if you go and do a good job and they keep you because you're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe that merit absolutely should play a major role.
Sure, but I just don't believe government should play favorites. If a man is 50 years old, okay, a woman, 55-year-old woman, who has a job.
Hey, the other day,
What?
I don't know what paper it was. The other day, it said these are the possible county executives. It was 8
Yeah.
white, heterosexual males. Do you think anyone's playing favorites that those 8 white male faces were there? Is
I would
anybody
love to
playing
answer
favorites
that
there?
question. Do we have time to do it now or
No,
after the
we
break?
do not.
I'll explain the real world to you. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Dimitri explains the real world.
Night Talk.
Hello and welcome back. Dimitri Vassilaros.
Just Dimitri is fine, yeah.
But just Dimitri is fine.
Yeah.
You can hear him on the 50,000-watt blowtorch. No, not that one, but the
The good one.
WWVA
News Radio 1170 WWVA.
out of Wheeling,
right.
West
but
Virginia.
It covers, the signal covers
Yeah.
like half of North America. It's an
Okay.
incredible signal.
You can read his stuff in the Tribune Review, and you can hear his commentaries, see his commentaries on WTOV.
Right, News 9.
News
and
9 out of Steubenville.
Right, I'm doing commentaries twice a week there. So I'm a multimedia, tri-state, one-man campaign.
Man alive. And a proud graduate of Peabody High School.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Back when it was good.
Yeah. Oh, honest to Pete.
It's the truth. It's the truth, man.
Probably. Mary, hi.
Probably.
Mary, are you there?
Are you talking to May?
Is your name...
May.
Oh, May.
Hi,
Well, then,
May.
May, I'm talking to you.
Right, okay.
Sorry, May. Yeah.
Dimitri,
Hi, May.
I know what's wrong with you. You are a born devil's advocate. I used to listen to you on that other station. And at first, I responded emotionally. Then I began to really listen. And I knew that you were a born devil's advocate. And that's why you were hired.
So, wait. Define your term, May. Are you suggesting that he just
He always takes the opposite.
Opposite
and
of what?
develops it, and he does a Joe Pine only in a refined way.
Opposite of what?
You remember Joe Pine?
A little
Yeah.
before my time. Opposite of what?
You take the opposite of the caller most of the time.
No, because I state my position before I take the call. So how do I know what caller? Look, my politics. I'm very open about my politics. I'm libertarian. I have very
for
strong
example-
libertarian beliefs. You know exactly how I feel about affirmative action and about government playing favorites with different groups or with different companies with corporate welfare. You know how I feel about Plan B. You know how I feel about Mayor Murphy. You know how I feel about Bob Cranmer. You know how I feel about all this stuff. This is who I am. And it's not that I'm taking these positions because I think May might take an opposite position. This is who I am. This is what I believe. And if you don't agree with me, then maybe you're the devil's advocate.
But in fact, everything you just mentioned, you are negative on. Mayor Murphy,
Most of the time.
negative.
Yeah.
Cranmer, negative.
Yeah.
Plan B, negative.
Because
But this bespeaks what May's saying, which seems you're always oppositional.
But stop
what are
and
you
think
for?
about it.
I mean,
I am
what are some
for
people you like? Give us some...
Mr. Scaife, who given me the opportunity.
Geez.
Mr. Scaife.
Well, sure, we all love the guy who gives us a paycheck.
You don't. Come on.
No, not necessarily, but I still take it. Well, I'll be darned if
Here's
I'm
a good
going to
example.
fawn
Plan B.
all over him.
Here's a good example. Plan B. Am I a negative person because I'm opposed to Plan B? No. I happen to believe that corporate welfare...
Larry Dunn.
I like Larry Dunn. He's a good, decent guy. He's a good...
I agree. He's a good...
decent
I
guy.
know Larry
So I
Dunn.
like
He's a
him.
nice man.
But the whole point of Plan
I think
B...
Bob Cranmer's a nice man.
No, I don't think he is. I really don't. I don't think he is at all. I don't think so. But Plan B, I'm opposed to corporate welfare, which I believe you're opposed to it as well.
Okay, but I don't want to get into the substance of any of these issues right now.
Well, doesn't that speak volumes about the Lynn Cullen show?
Well, May, go ahead. But
Okay, now, I've heard him. Now, I want him to hear me. I used to work in personnel, and he speaks of a fair playing field. That's what affirmative action addresses, not the fact that it's a minority or woman issue.
It's a quota system.
She says,
taxpayers. We're all taxpayers. And affirmative action was brought in because when I worked in personnel, even with affirmative action, they still had code words for the kind of people they wanted to hire.
Then, May, why did you still work there? If you don't like your boss and you don't like
My boss was a good boss. He said, don't discriminate.
If you don't like the attitude of that company, then shame on you for continuing to work there. I don't believe quotas are wrong. Listen to me. Quotas are wrong. They're not allowed in the Constitution. Government should not be playing favorites, whether it comes to corporations or to privileged groups. And that's how I feel about it.
But they do play favorites when it comes to privileged groups,
yes,
for God's sake.
Yes,
Government should not play favorites.
But they do. This is where your real world doesn't exist.
Let me give an example. We talked before the break how to educate you about what's wrong with this picture. You brought up the issue of 8 white males, you believe all heterosexual, running for the county executive.
Do you know any of them who aren't?
I wouldn't know either way, nor would I care unless they asked me out. Which, by the way, my dating situation is so bad that, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, he has said he really likes Larry Dunn, and I believe he was one of the guys.
But in a manly, non-thing way.
You like an overbite.
Lynn.
May?
Lynn, one more point.
Okay.
My employer said do not discriminate, send out anybody, so I continue to work for him.
That's great. Thank you, May. Have a nice life. So where was I here? The 8 men...
You are
you brought
rude.
Up.
That is rude.
You brought up.
Okay, I said, okay, and this does not bespeak any kind of strange, not level playing field, that all of the people who are set to run this county
for the executive
are
director
white,
position,
are men, and I'm assuming heterosexual.
Fine. So what is stopping a woman or 100 women
from running? There's a million things that stop women. They can't get in the door. They can't
get in the door.
They can't get the money you need. They can't.
Barbara Hafer can't get the money.
Barbara Hafer. There's one.
Barbara Hafer could have had the Republican nomination.
I think so too.
But she didn't want to.
Yeah.
Melissa Hart could have had.
No.
No one. Jane Orey.
So why do
what
you
is
think,
stopping the women from doing this?
So why do you think there is a paucity?
Don't use words like that, because it sounds almost dirty, but it's not. What's paucity? Lack of.
Few. Yeah.
Okay, so few. As opposed
Why
to
do you think then there are so few women, let's say, in the state legislature?
They don't have the fire in the belly. They don't want it as badly as men. Yeah, really. They don't want it anywhere near as badly as men. No question about it.
So it's not any institutional prejudice. It's not any kind of stereotypical
Tell me about the women voters in Pennsylvania. Tell me about the women voters in Allegheny County. Do we have more men voters or women voters? My guess is we have more women voters, but let's say that it's about 50-50.
What, are they just supposed to vote for women?
No. The whole point is that there's no government rule that says it should be only white males or anything favoring no government interference in this at all. The women do not run because they don't want it as badly as the men. That's God's truth.
Okay, well, Dimitri knows.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Jane, hello. You're talking to Dimitri. Jane,
hi, Jane.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just listening to music because I turned you off as soon as I saw Dimitri was on there.
Thank you.
It was killing me, Lynn, because I really wanted to watch you today.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, while I was on hold, I had to listen to what he was saying over the music.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons women don't run is they can't get the money to run, Dimitri.
I was trying
Why?
A lot of money for advertising and mailing.
Barbara Hafer got the money to run for state.
Make the money that the men can. Listen to what you're saying. Melissa Hart is owned by a bunch of men. If they wanted her to run, she'd get the money.
Jane, one question. Jane,
get the money.
Jane, take a breath.
Can't get them. I can't take a breath, Dimitri, because if I listen to you, that means I'm buying into your garbage. And that's what it is. You're selling a ton of garbage to people.
Jane, stop and think about this. You said that Melissa Hart sold out to that they own her, right?
They do, and they don't want her to run. They give her the money if they want her to run.
Jane, then, who sold Melissa Hart to the money boys?
Melissa Hart thought that that was the way she was going to get a little bit of power. She thought that that was the way that maybe a woman could gain some kind of power in the state.
So what's your answer then, since we don't have any
Poor
women
judgment,
running?
because we don't have any experience as leaders.
So why not run for low-level offices and then build up from there? What's stopping
That's what
any
she
woman
did,
from
but
running?
Who did she irritate? She irritated Jubileer. She irritated a lot of the Republican leadership.
What's stopping you from running for office, Jane?
Well, actually, nothing
Well then,
except money.
well,
Money, Dimitri. I'll tell you what.
then I guess you have to figure out a way to get it.
You give me the first donation of $2,000 and I'll run for something.
Okay, Jane, I'm calling a truce here. God almighty. You know, you should be a spokesperson for, like, some antacid. Because I'm getting heartburn.
And I'm getting a migraine, so
All
we have
right.
a lot in common.
Why don't you work for the pharmaceutical company? God. Oh, Dimitri, the devil's advocate. We'll be back.
Sometime.
Hello! Now we're talking as parents. He's a proud parent of a lovely daughter,
Yes, and you're a proud parent of a
a
lovely,
lovely son, and we
That's
were
right.
just exchanging pictures. So, yeah. Anyway, we got lots of calls here, okay?
Well,
you
there's a
wanted them,
shocker.
you got them.
All right.
Well, let's move through. Don't get into contentious things with everybody. We'll just move them
If they
through.
agree with me, they wouldn't be contentious at all now, would it?
No.
Thank you
oh,
very much.
okay. Jerry, do you agree with them?
Good morning. Well, sometimes I agree with Dimitri.
Good morning.
Sometimes not. I just want to thank Dimitri. When you dropped off the radar screen, he was keeping everybody updated on where you were on his on the internet there.
He's a good guy, he's a tireless kind of a person. Yeah, you use that.
Self-promoter, shameless self-promoter.
He is, but
Lynn always helped me with my column especially. I mean, you know, that meant a lot when she said those good things about my column, and she was always very good to me when she worked at TAE and all that, and
he covered your back.
No, I know. I'll tell you one thing about this guy. I mean, the work ethic is alive and well, and you don't burn a bridge. You don't burn any. I'm a bridge burner. There is nothing but conflagration behind me. And you
Really?
don't. No, you're paving, you're maintaining bridges from time, and it's very,
But I don't get angry or upset because I consider it as I've been given opportunities. Like at TAE, I was given an opportunity to work there for 6 years. They were really good to me.
All right,
and I was
stop
good to them.
already. I know.
But
It just
that's
makes
my
me.
attitude.
This is the kind of guy who they fire him, and he says, "Thank you so very much
For the opportunity.
Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am."
I had a 6-year gig doing the thing I love to do. There's no guarantee that I should get a full-time.
No, I know.
I
You're
mean, they were-
admirable. It's
they
an
were-
admirable.
They were good to me.
You're admirable.
All right, fine.
And then I have a toaster with a ribbon on it for you to the wedding present. I'm still holding on to it.
You're out of here.
Send it to me.
What I wanted to ask Dimitri was,
Okay.
what happened up at WTAE, excuse me why I spit, is we lost you, Dimitri, first of all. We lost Lynn off and she's on another station now. But if Lynn and all the rest of you had the ratings up there, why did they dismantle that program?
Oh, because the free market works so beautifully.
Actually, because what I had heard is they were still losing money hand over fist. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
So,
but if it were true, then we were obviously costing too much. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
My impression was that they were basically trying to shut everybody up there.
No.
No, I don't.
Shutting Lynn up? Shutting me up? Are you kidding?
I don't agree with
You're
that.
not in the Pittsburgh market anymore. Lynn's still in the Pittsburgh market, but I just got a really bad impression from all
It's
that.
not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that.
Well, talk radio.
Bad Howard Stern imitation.
Well,
it was pathetic.
I'll tell you, but thanks, Jared. Talk radio in the Pittsburgh market is pretty.
In fact, I'll even say it. I think KDK's talk hosts, the whole format, their news is good. I will certainly give them credit for that. But in terms of talk programming, it's an abomination. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. The only reason that they ever show up in the ratings is because people think the call letters and all that. But in terms of programming, it's a disgrace. I mean, Mike Pintack has a perfume segment on in the mornings. I mean, Mike Pintack? Perfumes? And he's the best of their sorry lot. It's a disgrace.
Oh, I don't agree with that. Les, hello. Les.
Hello.
Hi, quickly.
Liz, so first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your show.
Thank you.
But you had to spoil it until you had this knucklehead on your program right now. It's because he was a graduate of Peabody High School, am I correct?
Yes, so you are.
And what year was that?
1970.
in 1970, it's very sad for you to get on national TV and say that you graduated from Peabody High School, and then you turned around and said when it was good.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, welcome to the real world, because that tells me what world you're from.
When's the last time you went to Peabody?
Pardon me, don't even worry about it, because the way I'm looking at it, and probably mostly everybody else is looking at it, is when you said when you went there, but now it's when it was good. You don't say something like that on national TV.
Sure I do. I just
I'm
did.
taking it as a racial. Well, you just welcomed yourself.
Did you mean that racially?
Oh, God, no. No, in fact, thank you for your call. Peabody High School had...
Les, because we're out of time.
Okay.
We're out of time.
All right.
Do you see how worked up you get people, though?
Because he didn't stop to listen. He didn't stop to interact with me. He just had his own opinion and did not want to hear the rest of the story. Like when I went back for career day at Peabody, I wrote about it in my column, and what I saw in the students there, it made me sad. I wrote a column on it. I was so upset. I went back there. I know what I'm talking about.
We're done.
Lynn, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, and you have a great new year. Give my best to Sam, and you are a great friend. Thank you so much.
Tell you, kick him in the head, and he'll say thank you so much. It's amazing. Dimitri, thank you. We'll be back. Take some Maalox or something, you'll feel better, not to worry. Listen, happy New Year. Be careful out there. I'll see you next year. Hansburger next week. Keep the Maalox. Don't worry about it.